Welcome to the channel where I make videos to hopefully help improve your trading, as well as where I live stream every morning at market open, 8:30 a.m. Central Time, where I copy trade my 20 Apex 50K funded accounts and trade live in front of you. It's free to watch, so make sure you subscribe and come hang out in the streams as well. Now, I think it's understood that trading is incredibly hard. Most new traders spend all of their time working on their strategies, which is not a bad thing, it's a good thing, but they fail to realize the importance of the thing that actually sets good traders apart from normal people, which is the psychology and the emotional side of trading. Most new traders spend all of their time working on their strategies and chart time, which is not a bad thing, but the great equalizer with trading between the good and the bad is actually the psychology and the emotional side. In this video, I'm going to be going over 5 of the top areas that I think are super important regarding trading psychology. Number 1, the psychology of money. Money introduces real emotions. It introduces real happiness when things are going really well. It introduces real sadness when things are not going well, real anger, real annoyance, right? It can even really introduce like an actual real fight or flight response within us when things are really not going well, where we start getting that blurry vision, we're locked in, we're kind of frozen, trading at your desk when you're in deep drawdown, for instance. Those are all real emotions that our body is physically experiencing and that our brain is physically trying to process. And we have to learn how to step away from that and decipher that and to experience it, but also not let it affect our trading. A lot of trading emotions produce dopamine. Dopamine is not necessarily a bad thing. It actually can be a really good thing, right? It can help us tell our brain when something is working well that we might want to, continue to do in the future, right? Like it's rewarding us for executing a trade well, following our discipline, realizing if things are going well. That being said, our brain also naturally chases dopamine, which can be a really bad thing with trading. Constantly trying to feel that and fill that itch of success or adrenaline, things like that, right? These are things that we want to avoid. With trading, we actually kind of want to naturally be flat. When you're in your actual flow state for trading, when things are going really well, you're locked in, discipline's going well, trading is going well, it's actually kind of boring. You don't really feel a lot because you're just executing, which is what the end goal should be, is just pure execution without a whole lot of the baggage of the ups and the downs. Now, it can be fun and exciting to watch the market moving a lot, but when it's time to execute, you have to pull those emotions out and only focus on the goal, which is what is my risk? What is the setup? What is the reward out of this, right? And then execute when the time comes. Most of us have probably experienced sitting at our desk. I know I have, sitting at the desk. Why didn't I take this off sooner? Why did I move my stop loss? Why did I move my take profit? Why did I average into this trade? Why did I not call it a day already? I'm just sitting here frozen as the market is moving, knowing that I should do something, but I can't bring myself to do that. We're sitting in a state of shock, just watching the pain happen. A lot of times, this is what ends up yielding revenge trading, FOMO, bad things that end up, making us do decisions that we did not want to do and ends up blowing accounts or losing a lot of money, etc. One way to fight these risks is the money side. When we're watching the P&L, you're watching big numbers move on your screen, numbers you may not have even ever seen before in your life. Happens with trading, right? You can make a ton of money, you can lose so much money so fastly. And with trading, there's a couple of steps here that you can do in order to kind of alleviate some of that pressure when you're first starting out. Step 1 is, if you are brand new, do not go load up, and do whatever you want, but in my opinion, do not go load up a personal brokerage account to start trading futures, stocks, crypto, whatever it is. Don't do it yet. Open up a sim account. Almost all trading platforms out there have some version of a sim account, a simulated account, also called a paper trading account. A paper trading or simulated account allows you to be able to start practicing with the platform, understanding how it works, the buttons that are there, start working on a strategy that you can adapt and mold and test and try out without having your actual hard-earned money at risk in the market. It's so easy to see volatile days and want to execute it and just load up an account and start at it. Those volatile days, it is so easy to lose money on those days. Today, for instance, we had a candle on the Nasdaq, went up 100 points in 1 minute. For one contract on the Nasdaq, that is equal to $2,000 of P&L swing. If you loaded up $2,000 in a personal account, that could literally be gone in 1 minute. Until you get good at trading, I would really recommend, staying in a simulated account. Then once you're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable, let's introduce some of those emotions that money bring out by going into a prop account. A prop account is basically a simulated account with an initiation fee. Like for the evaluation, you pay that, so you have a little bit of money at play. a little bit of emotion at play. Pass an evaluation that they have for you, given you follow the rules, you hit the profit target. In return, they give you money to trade with. And then you have even more emotions at play, but it's not your actual hard-earned cash at play. And so it's less emotions in a personal brokerage account, more emotions in a sim account. So it's kind of step 2 of the process. Step 1 being simulated account, step 2 being a prop firm account. I use Apex. I trade it every morning. It allows you to kind of have some buy-in while not having too much buy-in. It allows you to live to fight longer. If you have a $2,000 budget, it's going to go a lot farther on a $20 evaluation than it would a $2,000 personal account day one. You can use code TBM if you're interested in getting an Apex evaluation. It will always give you the best discount available. Step 3 is a live brokerage account. I would recommend doing this last, after you've experienced the simulated environment, after you've experienced some of the emotions of the prop firm environment, because at the end of the day, the live brokerage account is going to be the top level of emotions that money can bring to us. It is real money that you are losing or making every day, and you will naturally have clouded judgment based on what the market is doing just because it's your money that you're playing with. The second big area that I want to talk about here is patience. We must be patient in trading, both in our setups that our strategy is providing, but also in the whole process. We have to be patient in the process. Our goal is to be trading not just today, but years from now, right? If you're getting into trading right now, yeah, it's like fast money. It feels like fast money. You want the fast money, but like that is not the goal. The goal is to live to fight another day, to be trading 6 months from now, year from now, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, consistently pulling money out of the market instead of just trying to make a quick $5,000 today and then lose it tomorrow because your risk and your emotions are not in check. One thing I like to say here is less is more. If I do less, if I'm not pushing as hard, if I'm just going consistently day over day over day, looking for the setups that I really enjoy, not trying to force setups, force trades, go on till all these types of things, I get more of it in the long run, gradually than suddenly. Gradually, I'm showing up every single day, putting in the work, working on my mental, working on the trade setups. And then suddenly I look back 6 months from now and I'm way farther than I was, 6 months ago. Hopefully I have more money than I did 6 months ago, or I'm starting the process of getting profitable, etc. Discipline and patience is a choice. It is a choice to be disciplined. It's a choice to be patient. It's a very hard choice to make in the moment because the markets are moving. Our emotions are high naturally because we want to participate, but we have to force ourselves to be patient, to not do it until the time is right. We have to be disciplined to not overtrade. We have to be disciplined to not revenge trade. We have to be disciplined on when to walk away on both good days and bad days. Greed will kill us. The third point, winners lose. A bad trade does not define you as a bad trader. It just shows that you are human and you are a trader. Every person who trades will lose. You have to learn how to lose. With trading, our ego has to die. There's no other way to put it. Our desire to be right has to be done, right? We will lose. It's inevitable. No one's strategy is 100% win rate, plain and simple. There's always some variable that you can't control, or even just the price action you can't control, right? So many traders have such a hard time grasping the fact, and it's hard to do, but grasping the fact that if I had 4 green days in a row, a lot of people want 5, right? And what happens if they take 2 losers in the morning? They're gonna try and grind back. And a lot of times that induces tilt, revenge trading, and all of a sudden they go from 4 green days in a row to popping or blowing the account on day 5. You have to learn how to lose a trade. You have to learn how to lose for the day and be okay with that. One thing that I think helps with losing, and this is like a process that you have to do internally, is you have to identify what happened, identify the emotions that you felt, identify the setups. Were the setups even real that I was seeing? Was it part of my strategy? If no, okay, I know how to improve that. I should be waiting, being patient, looking for my actual setups, not revenge trading, etc. If it was part of your strategy and it's a trade that works all the time and it didn't work today, that's okay. That happens all the time, but we have to learn how to lose. Number 4 is continuous improvement. From a psychology and an emotional perspective, it is so important to never stop learning with the market. The market conditions change all the time. Our lives change all the time, right? Our real lives do affect our trading. It's unfortunate, but it's true, right? Our real emotions that we experience outside of trading do come over into trading as well. We have to learn how to have continuous improvement, how to be molded, consistently molded, how to mold ourselves, how to ask ourselves hard questions, right? We have to ask ourselves the hard questions. What did I do that I liked, whether I was green or red on the day? What did I do that I didn't like, whether I was green or red on the day? How are my emotions feeling today? Was I feeling a little bit more stressed this morning? Those are things that kind of all play into this concept of emotional capital. I've talked about it before on my channel on the base hits video. I really recommend you watch the base hits video. It'll be linked up in the corner. But emotional capital is like a gas tank, right? We all fill up in the morning and then it depletes as the day progresses. Some trading sessions depleted a lot faster than others. But at the end of the day, every time we are sitting in front of the computer, we're draining ourselves. And when you go on E is when you typically are revenge trading, making stupid choices, tilting, going FOMO, etc. You have to learn how to be consistently molded by the market though. There are different seasons, different times of the year that trade differently, and that's okay. Maybe your strat is working perfectly on this time of the year. Guess what? It might change over time. And even if your strat is perfect, there are ways that you can be changing and making your mental even better, becoming more disciplined, becoming more patient, executing at a higher level, being more of a pro, right? We want to be pros at what we're doing. We don't want to be the rookie guy. We want to be a pro. And so how can I consistently shape that ideology in my head in order to execute at a higher level? The last area here, and I just briefly talked about it, but emotions outside of trading absolutely affect trading. I say this because it's so easy for us to sit down at our computer, lock in, and then all of a sudden we're checking our email from work, or you get a text from your wife or whatever it is, and all of a sudden that puts you in the spiral of doom, right? It's like, oh shoot, I have a problem outside of trading. Well, let me worry about that in 5 minutes. I'm gonna keep trading right now. What happens in those moments? Your brain is distracted, your head is cluttered, you're experiencing emotions outside of trading, and that gets brought into the actual trading screen, and you start making dumb decisions. So you have to learn how to separate trading life from other times, right? There might be some physical things that you can do there. Put your phone on do not disturb. Don't check your emails while you're trading, for instance. Don't check your phone while you're trading. Be locked in 100%, because those outside emotions will absolutely move over. You also need to learn how to decompress after trading for normal life, right? Plenty of times I've come home and I just am out of it because trading took me out that day. Like, I was just emotionally exhausted. It's up to me to learn how to not live my life like that, right? That's not healthy. For me, I've learned, I can stand up, I can walk a little bit, get outside, get a fresh breath of air, be able to kind of decompress my trading session for going home. Same thing applies even during the trading session. For me, I kind of break it up during my morning stream. After my morning stream, I typically stand up, go walk around outside for a little bit, and then I come back to the computer. I give myself a pause, right? That pause is very important for being able to see the market cleanly and clearly and just from a clean slate, right? We don't want to be bringing in garbage into our trading session, because if you bring garbage in, you get garbage out. These tips for trading psychology are all things that are areas for you to work on. No one will be able to immediately tell you, and you watch a 10-minute video and figure out exactly how to change your trading psychology. It is a process. You have to commit to the process. You have to choose the process. But at the end of the day, if you choose this process, it will naturally make you a better trader. It is naturally where you will go if you're trading long enough. These are areas that I work on every single day. I'm not changing my strategy a whole lot these days, but I am naturally and need to constantly refine and change my patience, my base hits, my discipline, my emotional state, my stress levels. All of those areas are things that actively have a very high output on my trading if I have them in check. And if I don't have them in check, it will wreck my trading and it will wreck yours. So now I know I didn't hit all of the big areas here. So if you have areas that have helped you with trading psychology, make sure you write them down below so others can see, areas that have really helped you. Maybe it will help them. And so put that in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See ya.